Today on episode 212 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our NFL Week 14 pick show, our college football bowl preview, and the TCF top 3 of NBA in-season tournament courts. Let's roll. Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure you find us on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like. For all of our content in video form, go on over to YouTube and subscribe to the page there. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans. Hit the red subscribe button and you can find everything there. And I did get our newest package for the TCF food review. They're sitting right over there. So make sure you check that out. We'll be getting those done over Christmas break. So head on over to YouTube, subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there as well. So make sure you subscribe, rate, review, whatever you can do on whatever platform you get your podcast. You can find us on those. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And of course, Zach at Z Lilia TCF. Maddie could not make it tonight. Make sure you tweet Maddie at schools_01. Tell him how much you miss him on the podcast, because we certainly miss him out here.
He's a busy man. He's a busy man.
He is a busy man. He's got a young kid. It's Christmas time. He's not like me. He works a real job. So he's got things going on. But Zach, how you holding up in the weather? I'm really liking this version of winter that we've got so far.
Who would have thought? It's December 7th and it was 55 degrees today. So can't beat that. It's whatever, though, because even though it's nice out, there's still nothing to really do outside because everything's just mushy. But for me, it's like still it's muddy. You have to work in the mud. Do not like that. But at least it's warm when you're playing in the mud.
That's true. That is true. Could be worse. Could be playing in the mud and having to wear a winter coat, and thermal gloves.
But the other side of it is if it was cold enough, then it wouldn't be muddy. So
that's true. Yeah. Yep. I'm liking this. If it'll stay like this, I just need snow on Christmas. I know we've got a little bit of snow so far, but I just need snow on Christmas.
Insane that Christmas Eve is 2 weeks from Sunday.
Man, that was I
really haven't had any significant amount of snow.
No, there was that we got it like some on Halloween, and then we got some like a week or two ago, and ever since then it hasn't been bad. So can't complain. I know January is going to be miserable, but
now that I said that,
yeah, exactly. Way to ruin that. But let's jump into things. As always, we've got sinkers and floaters. And Zach, I'm going to start off with my sinker, and that is sports memorabilia. And that is simply because I was scrolling through Twitter before we were recording, and I think one of the dumbest prices paid for one of the dumbest items came across my feed via Darren Ravel. There was an auction for a baseball signed by President Herbert Hoover. And for those of you who don't know, President Herbert Hoover was what we call not a good president. He was the president during and leading up to the Great Depression. So in my mind, if you ask me to rank the worst presidents, Herbert Hoover is top 3. Zach, can you guess the amount of money paid for a baseball signed by President Herbert Hoover?
$200,000.
$214,200.
Insane. I guess I'm just different or something, but I do not have I don't care about a signature.
Yeah, and I do. I collect memorabilia, but
I understand that, but you're not going to spend any crazy money on like a signature.
Yeah, exactly. I have a pretty hard $100 limit on all of the stuff I buy.
Especially nowadays because the card shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, but $200 and almost $15,000
to do what with it? What is it? I don't understand.
I have no idea.
You think people go to his house and ask, "Oh, who signed that ball?"
It's got to be for some major collector.
Can you even tell who it is?
You actually can. I'm looking at a picture of it right now.
Some signatures you have no idea.
I'll see if you can.
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
It
almost looks fake.
I was thinking the same thing, but I would pay maybe $200 for a presidential signed baseball. I know it was over almost 100 years ago, but
I don't know if I would.
Yeah, I would be very hard pressed to pay $200 for that. Somebody else paid an extra $214,000 for it, which is insane.
But I guess people have a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. What's your sinker this week?
My sinker is the MLB offseason. It's always stunk. They take forever. Remember the Cubs? They signed Craig Kimbrell like during training camp, spring training, or at the beginning of the season. The Ohtani stuff, they said by the end of this week, and then they said it could be after the winter meetings. We have no idea when he's going to sign, and then nothing else major has happened.
No, Juan Soto got traded.
Yeah, Juan Soto. Yeah, sorry, Juan Soto is a big trade, which is just they gave up a lot.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the Yankees. That's good for them. Wish the Cubs would have got him, but
not for the price tag they paid.
I know the trade, whatever, kind of maybe looks bad on my MLB offseason and being a sinker, but still, it's just so slow.
Yeah, exactly. It's brutal, and like the problem is that they don't have like like the NBA has the date where people can start signing, right? They have the legal tampering period, then they have a date where people can actually put their name on a contract. The MLB doesn't have that, and I feel like,
sorry.
I just feel like that's something they need to look into.
Because I would say, if you think about it, 162 games played over, 4 months?
Oh, it's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So 6-ish months.
And
then the postseason.
Say that's probably the most invested you can get in any sports because it's every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the off season is just so slow.
It is. Yeah, MLB season comes at you every day, and then MLB off season, we've literally been hearing for 2 weeks that Ohtani's signing by the end of the week.
We've had 2 different timelines, which I do not think he'll be signed by the end of this weekend.
No, I don't either. I would be hard pressed to say he's going to be signed by Christmas.
Yeah, maybe the new year.
Yeah, who knows? It's annoying, but I feel like something can be done about it. They just choose not to do something about it.
What you really do is make like a window.
Yeah.
Like a shorter window.
Yeah, you gotta try something.
But it's just like, come on, we got some kind of movement here.
Exactly. It's getting boring and monotonous right now, and that's not what MLB wants, and because that's kind of what they're known for. My floater, on the other hand, is bowl season, and I love college bowl games. They start like
I just said bowls. I'm like, no way.
No, well, we'll talk about them later. They're playing well. Hey, winning streak's a winning streak. Bowl season starts a week from this Saturday, and I don't know, man. I've already got my little ESPN, bowl pick central thing. I picked all the
college
games.
Football at like 11 o'clock on a Tuesday is always fun.
Yeah, I'm looking at Monday, December 18th. There's a game at 1:30 p.m.
People who say, "Oh, we need less bowl games." No, we need more.
Yeah, I mean, just let everybody have a bowl game at this point. Who cares?
What does it matter? People get mad about it. It's like, who cares? More football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, is it watered down? Sure.
And honestly, the more random ones, like the teams that are like 6-6, those are maybe the more fun ones to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously biased, but like talking about, Northern Illinois plays Arkansas State. Those two teams never play each other.
Well, that'll be fun.
Each other
very competitive.
Games. Yes, they played each other in bowl games before, but I mean,
that's just Super Bowl.
Exactly. I just give me more of it. Give me more. Duke and Troy, those two teams I don't think have ever played before. Utah, Northwestern, stuff like that. You don't get. We'll get a little bit deeper in those a little bit later, but I love bowl season. Keep them coming. Yeah,
the more the merrier.
Amen.
My floater is John Rahm's bank account.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. He had signed with Live Golf for reported around $400 to $600 million.
Couldn't sign. I would not be able to sign that thing fast enough. Sorry, PGA.
No, but he does have a bad video of him saying that he would not take the money, but I understand it is what it is. I mean, you do what you got to do, but man, I mean, that's the biggest contract of all time ever.
Yeah, $400 million is insane.
for report, like they said 3 years. I don't know if they do like years on the Live Golf contracts or how they do that, but he
Dude,
made it official.
That's almost $500 million
Yeah, to play golf.
to play golf 3 days a week.
Do anything. You have to do nothing but just play golf.
Yeah,
you have to do well. You could stink.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of over everybody like, oh, the Live, and all the hoopla around it. Like PGA's got to do something about it. And didn't the PGA?
I am also on the side of you can't. He comes out and says it's for the. He can see how this is a growing the game. This and that. It's not growing the game, dude.
No,
you got to come out and say it's growing your bank account. This is not growing the game at all. This is me hurting the growing of the game technically. Because
John should have just hired me to sit in that interview and just answer for him, and I would just say the phrase $400 million.
You gotta be honest with him because you can't go out there and really honestly think that this is gonna grow the game and this is gonna help whatever. Dude, no, it's not. It's gonna help you be very rich.
Yeah, but just say that. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I'm fine with that too. I mean, I would do the same thing. It's a lot of money.
Not get the memo that it was $400 million. Like most people would punch a stranger for $400 million. Do you know what I mean? Like $400 million.
It's a wild take there, Boomy.
Well, I'm just saying, if you walked up with a briefcase for $400 million
to go right to that.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, most people would take it. So that's all he needed to say.
It's a lot of money. Well,
it is a lot of money.
Wow.
Let's go ahead and jump over to the TCF Sports Minute, and we have a Bears game this weekend. The Bears are hosting the Lions at Soldier Field on Sunday. Bears are plus 3.5. Gave the Lions quite the fits a couple weeks ago up in Detroit. What are you feeling heading into this game, Zach? Are you in tank mode, or you still?
I hate to be this way. I think it's a pretty bad line for, I guess you would say, the Bears. I think that the Lions should be higher.
Yeah,
3.5.
Lions looked better last week. I mean, they only win by 5.
I mean, the Bears defense is looking good, but still, I don't know, 3.5.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of low too. I didn't end up taking it. We'll get to our pick show here in a little bit.
I think it'll be a competitive game. It'll be better than the one before.
I think that at least the Bears are, like we've talked about for the last couple of weeks. They're starting to do things to not embarrass themselves, right? They're actually looking like a competent. Now, when I say that,
better players right now too in certain spots.
Well, with all this being said, we do have to remember they scored 12 points in a Monday Night Football game. Somehow still won.
Well, they won without scoring a touchdown, so still need to score a touchdown. But the defense looked good. Let's just say that. Positives.
Yes. And the Lions coming off
a win. Fields has got to look good.
Yeah. He's got to come out, but it'll be interesting to see because in the Vikings game, they threw everything to the line of scrimmage. They barely let Justin Fields throw the ball.
I know with Justin Fields, everyone has the question mark, but is there anyone in this draft that's going to be better? I mean, you've seen some of the quarterbacks kind of fall off here.
Yeah.
Especially like Caleb Williams. I just want Justin Fields to end the season really good. We get a good draft pick, and next year is even more fun because DJ Moore, we finally have like a number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Very good. Then if we could have a good quarterback with a really good number 2 also, and maybe a little bit more help on offense, that team can look good because we got Sweat for a while. Should be a competitive team for the next few years, whatever. But I just don't think that they will be competitive if they decide to get a different quarterback. So if you're a Bears fan, you really want Justin Fields to look good.
I don't think any of this matters if Luke Getsy's still running your offense. You could bring in anybody. If Luke Getsy's calling the shots.
I think if they play well at the end of the season, I think that they're going to kind of clean house the coaching staff too. And like you said, I don't know if they could kindly ask Eberflus just to be the defensive coordinator. I know you can't, but I just really want Justin Fields to be the guy.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I'll get into this quick and we'll move on. But did you like my tweet from Monday, or was it Sunday night? I don't think you liked it very much.
What did it say?
I think it was something about man, glad that.
Oh yeah, you did have the best quarterback or whatever.
Yeah.
Good for you, buddy.
I mean, you got to admit, he did look good I'm still not,
He looks pretty good.
But, we're taking steps in the right direction. But I truly do think, and I'm not saying this because, I think Justin Fields, there's still the potential there. I think he's getting absolutely screwed by Luke Getsy.
Oh, yeah. There's definitely potential there.
I know I made jokes about, when Mitch left the Bears and how he'd be good. But, I truly feel if the Bears let Justin Fields go, he's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get him a play caller that lets him play.
He's got to be the guy, or we're screwed for a long time.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of teams that are kind of screwed this year, but hopefully not for the future, the Blackhawks 7-16-1.
Bedard, man, he's so good.
Yes, he is. They are currently losing as we record this Thursday night. But you just got to find guys. You got to find guys.
Oh, yeah. You got to find guys, and you also just got to realize that it's Bedard and a lot of veterans. So they're going to be making some moves here throughout this season. Maybe some guys coming up from the Ice Hogs. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one of those seasons where it's going to be kind of tough to watch, but you just got to realize, just focus on Connor Bedard for the most part.
Yeah. And the one thing we've talked about a lot is, the keeping games close, right?
Yeah.
Lose those games.
Though. Yeah. Some of these games get out of hand.
It feels like they're either playing in 3-4 games or they're getting down 7.
They can kind of tell.
Yeah. Bedard, I think, is at 11 goals right now. And the leader in the NHL is only at 18. So for a kid that, is 18 years old to be, at least in the hunt, it does hurt to see Alex DeBrincat, former Blackhawk, tied for 13th in the league with goals. But, it's.
Oh, Patrick Kane.
Yeah, that one really hurts. But, yeah, I think that just keep letting Bedard, grow, and he'll find ways to score. You just got to
watch him play hockey. It's just different.
Yes, that is a good way to put it. He plays hockey differently than a lot of players we've seen.
Like we said, they're not the best team or whatever, but if you watch them, you could just literally just focus on Bedard and just watch what he does and how he moves around. it's just insane.
I'm a big fan of it. Another thing I'm a big fan of, the Bulls on a little bit of a winning streak here without without Zach LaVine. They've won 3 in a row.
He's out for a while.
Yeah, he's probably going to be out. They said 3 to 4 more weeks. Hopefully they can just get him back in time to trade him. I'm done with Zach LaVine.
They look like they're, I wouldn't say playing better, but they are winning games and having more fun, and it's looser out there. And I don't know.
I'm excited because I'm starting to see things out of guys that I never thought.
Kobe White.
Kobe White is fun to watch right now, and I know it's just been a week stretch.
3 or more 3-pointers in 9 consecutive games.
Vooch is up; his average is up to 15. Kobe White's averaging 15. And Patrick Williams is still an eyesore to watch, but yeah, man, I just keep playing and keep winning when you can. They're only 2 games out of the play-in tournament or the play-in games. So, it's not completely right now. Unfortunately, it feels like we're in basketball purgatory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're not bad enough to tank. We're not the Pistons. We're not and the nice thing is I'm going to say it right now. This episode's going to come out on Friday. The Bulls will have 9 wins by Saturday morning. They play the absolutely god-awful San Antonio Spurs on Friday night. They're going to be 9-14 on a 4-game winning streak. That's the problem, though, is they're not good enough to be a contender in the playoffs, and they're not bad enough to get the number 1 pick.
They can maybe make the in-season, or not the in-season, the play-in tournament, or a 7-8 seed. But what is that going to really do?
Yeah, that is the definition of basketball purgatory.
Why? Middleman day and
but
You got to get rid of Levine, trade him. DeMar DeRozan. You want to get guys in here who are going to be here for the future.
I wouldn't mind them keeping DeRozan, just in the sense I feel like
he's a leader.
He'd be good for the locker room and developing some of these young guys.
Levine's got to go. Traded.
He's got to go. He's got a bad attitude. He
keeps saying he wants to be here. His heart's
still in
Chicago, but you can tell the way he's playing, it's not.
Or when they win the game and he walks off the court instead of celebrating, rocks.
I always bring up the story about how he was mad about getting benched. Like, that's really you're going to remember that from a year ago?
A year ago. Beat it.
And then you deserved it. It wasn't like it was for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, he 100% deserved it. Let's wrap things up in the TCF Sports Minute. Zach, I just got to ask you, do you think the Cubs are going to get Ohtani?
I don't know if the Cubs are going to get anybody. At this point, they're getting really nervous.
They're going to get somebody. I was listening to, was it Bruce Levine or Bruce Levine?
Who is somebody, though? Who is somebody?
So he said that he believes that if they don't get Ohtani, that there is going to be a push to pick up like Blake Snell and who was the other hitter that Bellinger.
Bellinger, yeah. I hope
if that's the case, I can live with it.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things. Is everyone waiting for Ohtani to sign?
That's what it feels like.
They even the big trade for Soto, I wonder.
Like I said earlier, like for what the Yankees had to give up
a lot, and he's still only on a 1-year contract, right?
Yep, exactly. That's too much.
And he's a really good player, but that team was stacked last year.
Yeah,
they didn't make the playoffs.
No, they sucked last year.
Yeah. Tatis came back in the middle of the season because he was with a suspension, but still, it's like that's a lot for. I guess if you're a Yankees fan, you just go, I want Soto in that lineup. But the Cubs would have had to give up maybe a little too much.
Yeah, I agree. And especially for only the 1-year guarantee, I'm not all in on that. Former Cubs that found some new homes, Craig Kimbrell heading to Baltimore. That's a good move for Craig. I think that he's going to help, bolster up that bullpen that
Baltimore is going to be good going forward.
Yes, they do. Jeimer Candelario signs, unfortunately, with the Reds in the division. But I still think there's names out there. Like, go make a move for Pete Alonso, right? I did hear that they are, there's been talks all week about them nearing a deal with Rhys Hoskins, which is a big question mark coming off a torn ACL, I believe. That one scares you a little bit, but, if you can get some consistency in the lineup, bring back Belly or go get, Pete Alonso. I know that Alonso's a first baseman, but they also have a DH spot now. And go get Glass now, go get Snell, bolster up that starting rotation. There's still a lot of moves.
I really think Marcus Stroman opting out was the best thing that could have happened to the Cubs.
100%.
Because that was what, 22, 23 million?
Yeah. For declining production. So, but who doesn't have declining production, Zach?
Who?
Connect Roasters Coffee. Our friends over at Connect Roasters. They make the best quality coffee that you are going to find.
What I say? 2 weeks from Sunday is Christmas Eve.
Christmas is
coming.
Get on it now. Our friends over at Connect Roasters work with Dom Frederick. You guys know and love Dom. They work with Ian Happ. The guy's won Gold Gloves. What more do you need to know? The guy wouldn't win Gold Gloves if he drank Folgers. Okay, he drinks Connect Roasters coffee.
McDonald's coffee. You think he's winning a Gold Glove? No.
Me and Zach drink.
That's why I don't win Gold Gloves.
Coffee, and we don't win Gold Gloves. So make sure you go over to connectroasters.com. Find them on Twitter at Connect Roasters. Get your Christmas shopping done now, people. Get online, get that coffee. I promise you will love it. So a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters. Time to move in to the pick show, Zach. Week 14. Little update here. You are still in first place. You are up 7 games on Pigoy. You are
closer though.
You didn't have a great week last week, but nobody really did. Nobody did. I didn't win a single game on until the night games on Sunday, and then I won Sunday and Monday. It is, man. But hey, that's what part of the grind is, right? You are 49, 27, and 2. Pigoy is 7 games behind you at 42, 35, and 1. I am right behind him. Not right behind him. I'm 7 games behind him at 39, 40, and 3. And as usual, bringing up the rear is Maddie, who went 1-5 last week at 27, 49, and 2. He has the exact opposite record of you. Let's get into it, dude. Who you got for the noon games?
I have Texans minus 3.5 at Jets. So I mean you have the same pick there. And then I also have Rams plus 7.5 at Ravens.
This is ridiculous because I am trying to catch you. I'm 14 games behind, and I put mine in right before we picked. We have the exact same freaking picks, dude.
So you should start giving yourself a few extra.
Golly, I should. I need to start cheating for the first time. I've never done that.
But you know I don't look at the sheet, so.
Well, you have access, so all this slander about me cheating the spreadsheet is an absolute
No, but you know that I'm not cheating, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I can look here to the edits. I don't think you've ever opened the spreadsheet.
I've opened it.
I don't know if I believe that. So I have the same picks as you. Make sure you check out the Twitter page at @typical_ on Sunday morning when Pigoy tweets out the graphic. Move to the afternoon games.
Broncos plus 2.5 at Chargers, and Chiefs minus 1.5 at Bills. I
Finally,
think the
we
Chiefs
got a little bit different.
The Chiefs are needing a game to kind of solidify themselves this season, and especially after losing to the Packers, and I think it's against the Bills at home, and then the Broncos. The Broncos are playing well, and I'm just not a fan of the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers stink. Brandon Staley is a dead man walking. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, if they lose this game,
it's over.
I thought they won last week, right?
Yes. Did they? Yeah, 6-0, and arguably the ugliest football game.
He's a loss away from, I think, season being done, or his season being done.
I think I don't know if they'll fire him in the season, but he is a fired man walking. I also have the Chiefs minus 1.5. Like you said, the Packers controlled on Sunday night. They have to come out and prove. They have 4 losses on the year. If they go to 8-5, I mean.
And the Bills just haven't been that impressive all season.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with the Bills. I'm not really impressed with Josh Allen. I think he's regressed quite a bit. And like you said, this being in Kansas City, I think the Chiefs know they have to win this game. Now, granted, the Bills did look better against the Eagles, who are a tough opponent at home. But, I mean, that's a gauntlet. You got to turn around after playing the Eagles and then play the Chiefs at home. Like, you went to Philly, then you got to go to Kansas City. Like, good luck, fellas. Sunday night, Eagles-Cowboys. Who you got?
Eagles plus 3.5 in Dallas. I just think that this team also needs a big win.
Yeah, I think it's the exact same as you.
These teams just get up for this game.
I keep forgetting that the Cowboys are 9-3. The Cowboys are a really good football team, but the Eagles, I mean, they did not look great last week against the Bills. I think they have to bounce back and prove that they're, top of the NFC. Monday night, strangely enough, week 14, we have 2 Monday night
games. You gotta love
games.
that.
Packers at the Giants. Doesn't look like Aaron Jones will play. Christian Watson also probably not going to play. Expect that line to come down a little bit when that becomes official. And then the Titans at the Dolphins. So who do you got, Zach?
I have Dolphins minus 13 at home against the Titans. I know it's a big line, but I just think the Titans stink.
That's a lot of points. I did not take that game. I would probably take the Titans just because that's a ton of points.
So many.
And the Dolphins poured a ton in last week. I think they scored 48 last week. I don't know if they can do that 2 weeks in a row. Give me the Packers minus 6.5. I think that they're just starting to they're still insanely young. Yes, it's going to hurt if Christian Watson can't play. Yes, it's going to hurt if Aaron Jones can't play. But A.J. Dillon, still an absolute dominant running back. I like him, to pick up a ton of yards. They've signed some guys that are going to just throw in and let them run the ball. But the Packers have a bunch of guys that they can throw to. A lot of young guys. I'm not saying they're back. I'm not saying that they're a playoff team. They might be, but I don't feel like they're there just yet. They've definitely just made the improvements, and you just kind of got to, keep running the hot hand. Jordan Love's starting to figure some things out. He's averaging 240 yards a game. He's got 22 touchdowns. And like I said, a ton of guys to throw to. Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Musgrave is out right now. But tons of guys to get the ball spread out to. So just get it out there, get it going. The Giants are a bad football team.
There's also that's enough. That's enough about the Packers.
They're playing well, and I like it right now. So make sure you check out typical_Chicago on Twitter for the graphic on Sunday morning. I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but let's dive a little bit deeper into it, Zach. We've got the bowl game preview. I just kind of want to go through some of the big ones here. I've got all of the games pulled up.
Before we get into anything here, Florida State should have been in that. I mean, I know you keep saying, no, they shouldn't have. Dude, they went undefeated. They won every game. They're in a Power 5 conference.
So?
How are they not in?
Because they're on their third-string quarterback. No one wants to watch Florida State go get
They won the necessary games.
No one wants to watch Florida State go get beat by 100 by Michigan.
They deserve to be in. Let's just say that.
No. As a Florida fan, I am very glad they got screwed.
Good for you.
Screw Florida State. I'm glad they didn't get in. If this was Florida, on the other hand, I would be probably arrested for protesting the NCAA offices.
The games don't make sense then.
Yep. This is the best thing that could happen for the expansion that is coming next year.
And wouldn't you have loved to see no SEC for 1 year?
No. No. I do not agree.
The 12 team is going to be awesome.
Yes. I think this is a great segue into next year. It sucks. Like, if I was a Florida fan, I'd be furious. But
it'll be fun.
But I'm not. I'm a Florida fan, so screw Florida State. Let's get into some of the big ones here. I love these games, dude. Like, where you don't usually see, like, North Carolina and West Virginia. But I want to talk about the big ones here. First of all, Ohio State and Missouri. I think that's going to be a really fun game, although I do think that Ohio State may beat them pretty badly.
Yeah, that's the problem with some of these games. You would love to see Missouri win, but I don't think there's any chance, even though there's probably
Missouri's a 2.5-point favorite.
Well, there's probably some players from Ohio State not playing.
Yeah.
That's the only problem with teams. That's why I think the 12 teams can be more exciting, because it's going to force these teams' best players to actually play. Because if you're not in the top 4, you're not in the playoff, what's the point of really playing any of these?
Well, I would love to sit here and dive into Louisville USC, but Caleb Williams isn't playing. So.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's if you have any players that are most likely going to go pro and you're not in the playoff, it's hard to keep them interested in it.
Next one I got circled, Zach. Georgia, Florida State in the Orange Bowl. Florida State, 14-point
be the biggest game Florida State's had in a long time.
Yeah.
If you win this game, you can say you were the champion.
They won't. Georgia is going to.
I know, but if they do, they can say they're the champion.
I do like that over. That over is at 44.5, and I think Georgia might score that by themselves.
Yeah, that seems a little low.
Yeah, I might get on that right now. January 1st bowls will go down the list here. Wisconsin and LSU. LSU minus 10.5. How did Wisconsin get into that game?
How is this? Who does Wisconsin know?
Stinks. I am not a fan.
LSU is insane.
Yeah, LSU minus 10.5. I think LSU just beats the brakes off of Wisconsin. But that game will be very ugly. Total's at 55.5. I don't know if Wisconsin that game LSU is going to have to
that they're in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Citrus Bowl, Iowa and Tennessee. That total is at 35.5, but Tennessee is a 7.5-point favorite. You
I want
like
all these
anything?
Big Ten teams just being in these big games.
Yeah, and it's not. It's a very down year for the Big Ten.
Well, yeah, I understand even like we're in the Big Ten championship game, but they still didn't have a great season.
I mean, they had a very good season. I mean, they're 10-3.
Yeah, but they were on the bad side.
Yeah, but that's been true for a decade. That side.
I'm just saying, I don't understand how these teams are getting the big time bowls.
The one I'm very looking forward to, undefeated Liberty and Oregon. It is currently a 16-point spread, but Liberty getting the Fiesta Bowl. Do you think they got a shot against Oregon?
It's the same thing. You want them to win, but I just feel like there's no chance. Oregon's just so good and fast.
And I haven't seen any news if Bo Nix. I'm assuming he's going to play, but
Oregon
who knows?
Oregon just goes.
Yeah. The score total 65.5.
And I don't know if Liberty's defense can keep up with it.
Yeah. Yep. The big ones that we need to talk about, the two semifinals, the top four, Michigan, Alabama.
And it's insane that Michigan went from being favored to not favored.
They're still favored by 1.5 right now.
Oh, okay. But still, Bama didn't beat Georgia like that.
Here's the thing, and I truly do think Michigan is the better all-around football team, but I refuse to bet against Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I refuse to do it. I could see Alabama coming.
Dude, you think about it, they're one play away from against Auburn from not even winning that game. Then they go in and beat Georgia. You can't bet against them. And the way Michigan looked, that should have been illegal. Whoever recorded that video of them realizing they were going to play Alabama, that was bad.
Yeah, that was a bad look. They knew what's coming. And then Texas, Washington. I love that these two teams got in.
Great game.
I think this has the possibility, and I know this could be old takes exposed because I think I might have said this last year in the national championship, and it ended up being like 65-7. But Texas, Washington, 4.5-point spread. The total is at 63.5. Texas is the favorite. I like Washington in this game to cover 4.
I think it's gonna be a great game.
Give me a 75-point shootout, but I think that total might be a little too high.
I think it'll be 2 awesome games.
Yeah, I agree. Now, historically, that fact has not been true because the
Michigan
semifinal games have sucked.
Well, yeah, and Michigan last year blew it.
Yeah, and I will say this, going back to the Alabama game, it's just one of Nick Saban has a month to prepare for it.
That's bad.
That scares me. That's got to scare you if you're.
People also say, "Well, Jim Harbaugh does," but Jim Harbaugh's not Nick Saban.
Exactly. I think that 2-3 matchup with Washington and Texas is going to be phenomenal.
Quinn Ewers versus
Michael Penix.
You never count Bama out ever.
Exactly. We started saying this back in the end of September when they lost to Texas.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Texas-Alabama rematch, and I think Alabama would win that game. But we'll get a little bit deeper in those as those games start rolling in because we've got to wrap things up. And, Zach, we're getting near the important stuff of the NBA in-season tournament. So as everybody has probably seen, the wacky courts, the crazy colors, we're going to do the top 3 of the best NBA in-season
I'm opting out of this one.
No, you're not.
Man, this not allowing it. All of them suck.
No, you're wrong.
All of them suck. You can say your top 3. I think that it was the worst idea the NBA has ever had, ever.
I will give you that. Some of them are awful, but there are some good ones.
There are no good ones because
that is
a horrible idea.
That is false. That is not true. There are some really good courts.
Tell me your favorite courts.
All right, I will start. This one, you're going to hate this. My favorite might be the New Orleans Pelicans with the purple and the lime green.
Awful, dude.
Dude, that one is so cool. My second favorite, Toronto, gray and gold, perfection. And then my third one, this is tough because I do like a lot of these.
Mine's just hardwood, whatever that. Usually the hardwood.
So
that's
boring.
Mine. Dude,
you're so boring.
It's so hard to watch.
Oh, okay, Grandpa. Oh,
Whatever.
I gotta get my bifocals so I can watch the basketball.
You gotta at
game
least
on the
admit the
television.
Bulls is bad.
The Bulls is awful. The Bulls is a bottom 3.
Yeah, that's really red.
This one pains me to say, but the Boston Celtics one might be number 3.
That green is cool.
Yes, the green and gold just works for them. I'll be honest, I like Atlanta's as well. I'm going to go down the list here since you're opting out. Apparently, that's an option in this show now. Atlanta's is not bad. Brooklyn's not bad. Charlotte's not bad. Bulls, awful. Cleveland, good. Dallas, good. Denver, okay. Detroit, not bad. Golden State, don't like it. Houston, too much red. Indianapolis, don't like it. Clippers, don't like it. Lakers, love it. Grizzlies, love it. Heat, too much red. Milwaukee, love it. Give me all. Milwaukee might be number 4 for me. Minnesota, love it. New Orleans, super love it. New York, no, orange is too close to red. Oklahoma City, no, 2 shades of blue.
This might be the worst segment we've ever done on the show.
Don't care. I'm almost done. You be quiet. You opted out. Orlando, like it. Philadelphia,
like
too
it.
much red. Phoenix, meh. Portland, too much red. Sacramento, love it. San Antonio, love it. Toronto, love it. Utah, love it. Wizards, love it. Love it. But I'll be honest, if they decide to never do these courts again, I wouldn't argue because it is weird
too much.
to see. I'm really liking the in-season tournament. I really do. But maybe we just go, regular
courts.
Yeah, regular
all
courts.
Season long.
I don't think if there's no one out there that was pining for this.
No.
You know what I mean? But
going,
fine.
Hey, let's make these courts just like a very bright color.
Yeah, and it's funny because the one I love the most is probably the one that most people hate just because it's purple and lime green, but that is
if you don't see what you wear, they would understand why.
Yeah, exactly. Well, people see my outfits on this show. It's not tonight, but especially in the summer. I'm very much a neon colored kind of guy. So
you like to be seen.
Since Zach didn't do it, please let us know what your favorite courts are. Tell Zach that he's an idiot, that there are some nice courts out there, and for him to quit being an old grandpa fuddy-duddy, because that is the end of the show. We appreciate you guys for joining us as always. That was episode 212, brought to you by Connect Roasters. Make sure you find us on Twitter at @typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram, all of the video content on YouTube. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, rate, and review. You can find me on Twitter at BoomyTCF and Zach at ZLiliaTCF. We'll be back next week. A lot more bowl games. Some food reviews coming here soon over on the YouTube page, so make sure you stay checked in. But we thank you guys for joining us. That was episode 212 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.